What's up, guys? Our Dating Story was a new romance anime that began airing in October 2023. The show didn't seem anything too special, and for most who've seen the anime agree that the first few episodes were rather underwhelming. However, even with a weak introduction to the anime, Our Dating Story actually surprised me with its simple yet effective way of writing these characters. Creating a new romance anime is an extremely hard task. When I think of romances, newer hits such as Kaguya-sama or My Dress Up Darling come to mind. Both these animes incorporate different dynamics that make these shows fan favorites. So what can Our Dating Story do? You also really need that X factor to get that anime out there, and well, Our Dating Story does not have the best animation or unique animation style, so for it to be clipped and reposted on YouTube and TikTok and such, which is a very important aspect that people don't realize, so there's not a lot going for this show, just on the service level, and that alone turns a lot of people away. The trailer also seems pretty clickbaity and turned to the shock value approach rather than laying out the show's main contents, appreciating the core values of a relationship. Getting to the actual meat and potatoes of the actual anime, the main character Ryoto at first seemed like your typical anime high schooler who whimsically shoots his shot with the hottest girl in class. Boy, where have I seen that before? Surprised, Runa agrees to go out with Ryoto on a date, with the central idea being that she has very little experience in dating people for a long-term relationship. She explores Ryoto's personality through their first couple dates and comes to realize she really loves his sincere and passionate personality. Unlike other guys she has dated, Runa felt a connection with Ryoto that she never felt before because she was so used to that idea that sleeping with someone is the engine in a relationship, when in reality it's not. Compassion, integrity, and fluidity are all elements to one's personality that are far more important and integral in a long-spanning relationship, aka compatibility. Similarly, Ryoto learns similar values as he explores his genuine feelings for Runa, and that's the main scope of this anime that you really don't see past the period of an anime where you drop it. The same connections are balanced out by the supporting characters in the anime as well, with Ryoto's friends going through turmoil of asking another character out, and Runa's closest friend Nicole getting back together with her old boyfriend Sakiya. I really enjoyed both Nicole and her boyfriend Sakiya a lot, as they wanted to help their friends out. Their dynamic allows the audience to get a sense of a non-typical high school relationship, which is a realistic scenario that does happen in the real world. Weird, right? He would admit in one of the episodes that he originally dumped Nicole to hook up with other girls, but even so, they end up getting back together in the end, as they both share deep feelings for one another in support. Nicole and Sakiya's relationship is definitely one of the more surprisingly realistic depictions of relationships in the modern outlook in hookup culture, and I deeply found this part of the anime very riveting and not explored enough in other animes. Our Dating Story also focuses on the label of the two lovers already together, exploring their relationship further and drama pushing the two to their absolute limits. And that's where Maria comes into play. Maria is a rather interesting character in the anime. She is Runa's twin sister, who were separated due to their parents' divorce and have a rather awkward relationship. To make matters even more tense, Maria ends up falling in love with Ryoto, who also had a crush on her years ago, go figure. It's very convoluted, but an interesting mini love triangle nonetheless. The two sisters look similar, ignoring their hair color, so at one point, she tries to dress up like Runa and almost tricks Ryoto into sleeping with her, which was crazy, as the argument for this anime is the idea of compatibility in relationships, and she completely turns that idea on its side. Like, you try to sleep with your sister's boyfriend. Bro, that's a red flag. Like, what? Anyways, I will say, to give Maria some credit, she slowly improves herself later on in the anime by admitting her love for Ryoto, but still trying to make things less awkward for her and Runa, and respecting her, of course. This realization shows Maria's mature response to what went down in her accepting her sister's feelings. On top of that, the show also faced a similar slope in other romances, where around the last few episodes, the two lovers have a mini breakup. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, this is probably the weakest part of the story thus far. I know a classic breakup trope to suck the audience in until the very end. It's a cliche, and I just wish animes like this took the initiative to try something different. Not new, but different. The two really felt distant, awkwardly distant, and that's not the chemistry I wanted to see between the two. It's even worse when I know they're going to get back together at the very end. And this is where it all comes to an end in episode 12, probably the best episode of the show. In just this episode alone, Runa and Maria get on good terms between sisters, drama between their mother and father starts, Nicole gets back with Sakia, the fat friend becomes skinny, god dang, Runa's friend starts to crush on him, and lastly, Runa wanted to turn Ryoto on. No, I'm not kidding, that's literally what she says! Correction, that's how they end the show. Again, I really like how the show tackles the topics of divorce, love versus lust, and just dating in general. It is this complicated thing that not everyone can grasp the first time around. Appearance, personality, sexual desire, all things that contribute to true love. And I think this anime displays these traits beautifully until the very end. To summarize, Our Dating Story is truly an underrated romance from last year. The plot was intriguing as it explored different dynamics of relationships that do and do not work. Beyond the actual plot, the soothing music and chill language was also a surprise to see not done terribly. The animation was lacking a little bit, but there were a few moments where I thought that transitions were clever or the little bit of particles put into the animation were good and made me smile. But overall, I think the writing for this is, for these relatable characters, it's definitely good, and I think I've presented some aspects of the show that put it well over some other romances that just didn't hit that mark for me. I genuinely thought the show was super cute and left me surprised. And next, we got probably one of the most unique, funny anime since Kaguya-sama. Oh boy, what do I be giving this one?